So me and a few other content creators that create similar content against porn addiction and helping women heal from betrayal trauma get attacked a lot by sex workers. They try to refute our arguments. They try to say that we're making up facts when there is a lot of books and facts on this being an addiction. And I feel like you have to be pretty ignorant not to see that this is an addiction. There are therapists with lines out the window, waiting lists, because they cannot fit in enough couples that need help from this, because marriages are falling apart. 52% of marriages are ending up in divorce due to porn addiction. And so the biggest argument I get from sex workers is that we don't understand that they are marginalized and discriminated against. And I am going to refute this argument today. The only exception that I'm going to have to this is if you have been trafficked in the industry and this is the way you have been brought up and raised. In those cases, I do not marginalize and discriminate against those women. In fact, I have a lot of empathy and grace for those women, and there are several organizations out there trying to get sex trafficked victims out of this industry, women who have been raped and groomed from an early age, trafficked in the porn industry, quite literally, where, either pedos or fathers or relatives have abused these women from an early on age, believing that this is the only value that they can bring in life. Again, going back to porn addiction and how awful this industry is. But for those women, I do see that there is hope, that there's ways out of this industry, and there's a lot of ministries I can point you to, or nonprofit organizations that work very diligently to get women out of these types of situations. So the first point I'm going to make is capitalism and choice. A lot of you hate capitalism. There are pros and cons to capitalism, and there is flaws in capitalism. But let me explain something to you about capitalism, which I'm sure you understand in your industry, is that if there's a girl over here doing SW work and there's a girl over here doing SW work, a man has a choice on who he's going to give his buck to, okay? So you could choose this worker over here and choose not to work with you. That's called capitalism. It's called sales and giving the customer choice on what it is that they want to purchase. Now, I want to try and bend a little bit your limiting belief on choice. There are choices available to you. Whether or not you see them is up to you. But there are choices available to you where this is not the only thing that you're worth doing or the options that are available to you. There are several opportunities in this world. And when we come from a starvation mindset, believing that this is the only thing available to me and there's not enough money to go around and there's not enough job opportunities to go around, we limit our mindset and what is possible. So you do have a choice to do something else, which leads me into point 2, economic opportunities. What kinds of economic opportunities are there for someone who's discriminated against as an SW? A lot. You have access to libraries, computers, YouTube, TikTok content. There's so much free content out there and so many free resources for you to get certified in certain different things. And I'll beat you to the punch. You're already doing content, you're already doing sales, you're already doing marketing. So you know a lot of those tools and resources. You can go on Upwork or Fiverr and start selling resources and skill sets in Canva, in copywriting, in posting content. And you can make the exact same amount, if not 3 times more, doing digital marketing than you will with SW work. I know, because that's what I do. I've made up to 5 figures a month doing social media and digital marketing. When I was only making $8.50 an hour, I do not have a college degree. Instead, I have applied my investment and resources in learning more and more and more on how to do digital marketing. I did contemplate at one point going to college for it, but by the time I would have gotten out of college, all of the information that I learned from college would have been irrelevant compared to what is going on in the industry today. So you actually can grow your knowledge and resources by reading books and going to conferences and being coached by people that can help you get there a lot faster than by going to college. And more people are realizing the need in industries for this. When you get out of college, it doesn't matter if you have a degree. People want to see that you have experience. So by having experience and a skill set is actually a lot more valuable than having a sheet of paper that says you read a bunch of books. So there are a lot of opportunities for remote work, for freelancing, and online platforms. I just want to put that out there, that you can make up to 5 figures a month doing that, and it does not cost you your self-worth and your value and destroying and hurting other families. Number 3 is stigma and marginalization. It's interesting to me that a lot of you women argue this almost to the point believing that you are homeless. Like that is the only other option I have is to do this or I'm going to be homeless. There are opportunities in ministries and nonprofit organizations that if you're truly at that point, that will get you out of that rut. that pit that you're in. A lot of them, if you want to contact me, I will give them to you. But there are ministries and nonprofit organizations that will help you get out of that if that is truly the case. But you do have access to healthcare. If you're in the United States, you can walk into any emergency room and be seen. And there are support systems out there to help women get out of this industry. But here's the thing that I know a lot of you don't like, is that I am tapping into your customer base and I am canceling your clients. I'm not even canceling a whole lot of them, but I'm canceling a lot of them because I'm equipping wives with what is going on in the industry and teaching them how to fight against it and set boundaries with their husbands. That's what my whole channel is about, is teaching wives to wake up and see that their partner isn't just cheating, that he has an addiction, and that she can set boundaries against that addiction. And by her doing that, not hundreds, but thousands of men are coming out of this industry and wanting, not being forced, wanting to get out of it, to break off their addiction from it, confessing, I am addicted to this because I can't stop. I can't stop looking at it. And we are working with men on the back end of our channel that are being set free of this. And that makes you mad. And that's your problem. I hate to say, if you're an SW and you have a problem with what my channel is doing, then there's something that's the matter with you. That's on you. That's something I can't control, and I'm not here to change your mind about being an SW. But that's something that you internally have to process and figure out, because what I'm doing is not wrong. What I'm doing is helping families, helping kids, helping women heal, and seeing men get set free from this in a way where they are crying and they are just so overcome by freedom, being set free from this industry. So that's what you're upset about. And you act like, well, there's all these women doing this. No, I would love for there to be a lot of women doing this. In fact, that's my goal ultimately, is for a lot of women to do what I do. That would be amazing. But right now it's a very small handful because there's not a lot of people talking about a marriage that made it after their husband was addicted to corn and came out of it on the other side. If you were to show up at my door and you needed food and water, I would gladly give you food and water. I am not going to discriminate that. You want some information on how to make money a different way, I will gladly give that to you. But you want a seat at my table to show your content to my husband and target him with ads and DMs in his inbox? Yeah, you're not going to have a seat at my table. And that's not discrimination. That's called a boundary.